This is an old metal Predator kit. The old kit. Where it has the same bottom and top look, but with different things on top. And then the metal Bunsen. Yeah. Old metal. Except that I didn't have any of the las cannons for the sponsons, so this is actually the little plastic one with some milliput keeping it in place. And I managed to prime it, but hit the, I was holding it at the time, so I'll have to hit that first. This doesn't pivot or anything. It's always a surprise. That's part of the fun. But I need to get this painted up, because I'm not one to wait until the last minute to paint models I need for a tournament. So instead of waiting until next Friday, the night before, I'm doing it a week early. And so here's the Razorback I painted up, what, a year and a half ago? No, not Guardsman. This is for my Dark Angels slash Blood Angels army. I paint it so that it fits both, because I don't want to buy more vehicles than I have to. Yeah. Let's see. So, this is roughly the color scheme. It's got some red details and some green details. Metallic cracks. I did not magnetize, or I didn't glue down any of the little panels, so that's why they're all falling. I have a copper look on the weapons. Because for anything that can be used in my Grey Knight army, this way I have the other options, but yeah, this was done in a batch about a year and a half ago, so I kind of went crazy with it. I just splattered a whole bunch of red over everything. So I'm pretty sure I could do a slightly better job now. And, yeah, I would much rather be painting than not as well. So... But yeah, for the Razorback, I made sure that it was decent enough. So there's a bunch of red and green, because those are the colors that I used. So, yeah. That may or may not sit there. Oh, and you can see the cardboard box that I'm using. Alright. Hello, Solvix. So yeah, I think I'm going to start with a bit of black, just where I need to hit that detail. Cover up where my fingers were. That is a tank. It is a Predator. This is the old metal Predator. This thing is hefty. Thanks for all the fish, yep. Cool, cool. And then I grabbed some of the regular colors that I use. And it's tank, so it gets hull red. This is my black wash that I made. Very watery. And some silver, or gunmetal gray, in case I need it. So, you know, nothing crazy. Yep, this thing weighs quite a bit. This whole thing was metal, and so are these, and then this bit is the old what is it? I think these are the treads that go on a Chimera. I think that's how the old kit was. So, and then I put 2 sandbags on it just because I had extra milliput for doing the las cannons. So yeah, we're gonna start with a little bit of black and go from there. Hope everyone's been having a good week. I can tell that I haven't used this black in a while. Okay. So yeah, I have plans to get a game of 40k in tomorrow, followed by some BattleTech. So I had to pack up the things that I needed for that. But I'm gonna need this Predator next weekend. Because I did the Highlander tournament. I signed up for it. I don't usually do tournaments because I'm not that kind of player. But it limits you to 1 per... Hey, gamer, how's it going? But yeah, the Highlander tournament is 1 instance of each data sheet. So you can only have 1 of the Predator tank, and you can only have 1 of Eradicators, and you can only have 1 of this and that. So it's a little bit more fun than competitive. And I'm going not to try to win the tournament, because I know I'm not going to win it with what I'm bringing, but to bring the oldest army I can. Because legends are not allowed, but the Predator tank is still in the code, in the codexes. The Razorback is still in there. Rhino is. I have 3 of the what are they called? The Ravenwing bike squads from Dark Vengeance. And back when they let those go, they said, yes, these are counts as Outriders. So I based them on the right base size, and I still have to get the basing done on a few models, but I'm gonna have some Outriders with Samael, who, you know, is still an old Finecast, Tailcast mini. And I have an old Belial, who I rebased onto the right size base. And I have a tactical squad and a Devastator squad, and I'm just running all old Firstborn stuff. Like my lieutenant, or not my lieutenant, my librarian and Terminator armor is an old Terminator. My librarian in Tacticus armor is an old Dark Vengeance librarian on the right size base. So I just went all out and made it as old school as I could. So, but it does mean I have to paint this tank up. So I'm gonna use rough iron for that part. This part. Because why not? The rich espresso that I was using, I don't have an open bottle of right now. It's the base coat of my Necrons, and I used the last of it when I was base coating, and I haven't opened a new one yet. So, we'll see how this works. It should be close enough. Yeah, it was fun to paint them too. So what's everyone else painting lately? Anything interesting? So, this is for Blood Angels and Dark Angels. My color scheme is based so that I can have the same minis in both. And it actually even has some of my Grey Knights colors chosen in it. I know I did a video like a year and a half ago talking about it, but old video. Before I was in the bunker. But yeah, the idea of having a predator that fits in both. You know, that just means you have more time to paint the same minis, right? Oh yeah, I know. Um, but yeah, I started the paint scheme when I decided to go with the Blood Angels. I was like, well, I have a certain number of rhinos and razorbacks in my collection, and I wasn't gonna go and buy double or even triple for the multiple armies that could take them. So I set about getting a color scheme that kind of fit all of them. Yeah, White Prime can be a little of a headache. Sometimes it works. Oh, yeah. Yeah. White white doesn't work for Grimdark. Nope. And yeah, I'm still waiting to get pictures. You said you were gonna post tomorrow, and I think it's been almost a week. Solvix. But yeah, I've been working on some projects, and I'm looking forward to finally getting them done. It's been a lot of painting. I wouldn't mind adding more vibrant colors to some of my models, but they have to be the right models. Like, I'm not gonna, change the color scheme I've chosen for an army, but a here and there type thing? Like, maybe I should do a vibrant Battletech mini sometime soon. Find one that just screams color. Hey, Ollie, how's it going? Painting up this old metal predator. Yeah, after midnight for you, right? Let's see, I believe I did green detailing in the back and red in the front. Have a good one, Solvix. But yeah, so being that it fits both my Blood Angels and Dark Angels, I slap in both colors. Yeah. That paint has not been used in a while. And now I just watered it down on the vehicle a little bit too much. Fun. When you thin it down so it's almost a wash, when you're not meaning to have it as a wash. Fun, right? Dry brush? No. No, I'm just slapping on some colors and then I'm gonna do a dark wash over it and go from there. Oh yeah, it's all over the place. It's so just everywhere. Fun. Can't blame me for too thick of paint though. Part of me wants to paint it better than I did the other one, but at the same time, it's in the same army. And it might only ever see 1 or 2 games before it's never fielded again. So I don't know how much effort I really want to put into it, but at the same time, I don't want to just slap things on and call it a day. So it's a weird situation to be in. No, 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 no. This is my project to take my mind off of the extreme effort project that I've been working on. I've been painting 8 minis for a good 30 or so hours. Um, and they're not even display quality minis, they're just big. And it's just like, no, I just want to slap some paint on a mini tonight. Not wait until the last minute, because I need it for next Saturday for a tournament. Probably do a little green in the front. Yeah. I'm gonna do this green. No, not another 12,000 points. I need to get the 12,000 I have done first. Before another 12,000. But yeah, my list has a lot of different things in it. Yes. I mean, 68 hours a week is enough sleep, right? Sleep and food and... yeah, that's totally doable. Yeah. Okay, well, the green is drying before the next coat. Yeah, this tank, if I get all 3 hours into it, it's gonna be better painted than that. There's no way I can't. Um, yes? I think? I don't know. Um, I think so. Yeah, these are las cannons. I don't know. How did you end up bumping yourself 3 minutes back? Alright. So I'm gonna use this pure red war paint, the original war paint. This thing has so little pigment in it, it's gonna almost do nothing. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Excuse me as I shake the paint. So yeah, this was one of the paints that was in the paint set that started my Space Marine army. My Dark Angels have only ever seen the starter set. Maybe there's one or two since then, but this red is horrible. I need to find better reds. There's a reason that this is also on the table, waiting, just in case I need to. Because I know that I'll probably need it. But this and the Hull Red... why won't it focus? Okay, there we go. Yeah, the Hull Red, not horrible. This, horrible. And I'm gonna use it anyway. So yeah, here you go. I'll show this off. So, I've thinned it down. There's paint there, but like it immediately darkens and then there's just like no pigment. Yeah, but that's without it drying. Like, do you see the streaks that it's causing? Hair dryer, huh? Or Mephiston in red, yeah. Um, I just have to say, hair dryer? Hair dryer. And now you can see all the streaks. I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like, I can paint a nice thin layer, but it doesn't want to stay there. Like, it's actually pooling on the sides of where I'm pulling the paintbrush. It's pretty bad, this red. I love it. That's not showing up very well in the stream, but so anyway, yeah. This paint does that. Like, over time, I might be able to build up an ice coat, but yeah. Yeah. Well, again, I'm trying to match my Blood Angels and my Dark Angels. So... yeah, yeah. It's also why I'm just going to use the Hull Red. Because I'm going to use the same brush, the same thinning of the paints. Yeah, same consistency of paint, same brush, nice layer. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It also darkens it down just a little bit, which I think looks better. But that was the first red that I ever owned. Well, maybe not the first. The first hobby paint red that I owned. And I was like, oh, I'm going to use this. And I learned very fast that it was not worth using. And so I've purchased 6 or 8 other reds. And I'm just trying to find something that's equal or better than Mephiston. And Hull Red's decent if I want something dark, but it doesn't do very well otherwise. But I was thinking about purchasing um a new game color red or um Warpaint 2.0 or new. Well, yeah. But I would like to find another red that isn't just Mephiston red. Yeah. It also probably would help if I had better brushes, but whatever. I've been painting with this brush way too long. You think I'm gonna change that on a tank? But fair enough. No, I think I've shown them off before. I should go get some. Um, 1 second. Alright. So yeah, I originally painted my... This was like a year and a half ago when I did my Blood Angels. But I went with a really dark... This is actually 8 parts War Paint Pure Red, 1 part black. And then I did their shoulders and knees in Mephiston Red. And, I mean, talk about, you know, a year and a half ago paint job. And even older, this is some of my Tactical Marines. Okay, focus. There we go. This is 6 parts green skin, 1 part black. Probably painted like 4 or 5 years ago. And then this is Samael, who I painted, what, 2 weeks ago? Come on, focus. There we go. So, again, this is old failcast. I'm not that worried about running them very many times, but yeah, that's where the tank being multiple colors fits in. So, but yeah, I mean, okay. So, the last mini I tried hard to paint. Last mini I tried my hardest to paint. I know it's trying to focus. I can turn off autofocus. I can get it in frame, maybe? Come on. There we go. But yeah, I actually wanted to paint him to a higher standard. So... So, you know, some things I'm like, okay, I just want a nice, decent paint job for the tabletop, and some I want to do a little bit more detail. Give it a little bit more effort, you know? Like, I could go grab some of my Primaris Dark Angels. I have highlights and stuff on them. Craven took me... I'm gonna estimate about 7 hours, but I could probably go back and look because I think I filmed everything. I think I did all but like maybe one step on film. Just stream, you know, recording from here. So... But yeah, those and my Skaven, those I really cared about. Like painting the what was it? Claw Lord on Knob East and the Udon Griff. Those two models from the Scaventide box, I gave good 4 to 6 hours each, and they came out really good. I've definitely seen improvement in my paint schemes over the last year, even on the ones that I'm not really giving much effort to. So, which is a good thing. You know, seeing forward progress is a very good thing. I could actually go get those two minis after I'm done with the green second layer, if you'd like to see those. Yes, exactly. Oh, absolutely. Um, yeah, after I do the green, I'll go grab those models. Um, and again, not every model has to be my best. Um, but every now and then I want to try to paint my best. Oh, thanks. Um, I appreciate that, Ollie. I don't usually link in yours, but um, come on, focus. Focus. Where's the focus? There we go. But yeah, this was what, 1.5 streams? Probably like 4 to 5 hours. You can go back and look, because this was live stream. And also, Yeah, Scaventide month. Yep. But like that was about 7 months ago. Yeah, this was bestest burb, right? But you know, those guys, I gave more time, and it shows. So again, not everything has to be my best, but characters deserve that extra attention. A tank that might only get fielded 1 or 2 days and then never again see the light of other than my cabinet. Yeah. I'm not gonna just, do a 30-minute paint job and call it a day, but I'm also not gonna put 20 hours into something for a Highlander tournament where I'm bringing the oldest army that I can legally field. you know, I don't think I don't think I could do 120 hours a week. I think that would be a little bit overboard for me. I wouldn't mind painting for, 20 hours a week. That wouldn't be a horrible thing. Oh yeah. Like, I know that putting more time into something makes a better paint job, but there's only so many hours that that each model deserves when it's not trying to get into a competition or something. Like, the only thing this is ever going to see is a best painted army competition at a local store in a Highlander tournament where it's all about having fun and bringing random models, not meta or anything like that, because you can only have one of each data sheet. Like, yeah, exactly. 10 hours per model is already a lot. And I've put close to that into a couple of the minis that I've painted, but, 3 to 5 is pushing it for most. For me. Like, there have been several streams where I've painted 2 Marvel Crisis Protocol minis in a 3-hour period. And it's like, yeah, I could go back and do a little bit of highlighting and shading and stuff like that. Another coat of paint or 2. But I'm happy with them. They are gaming pieces. And they're in a case that I could always go back and paint more if I felt like it. But when you have a collection this large, like, I can either choose to paint 1 mini for 10 hours, or I can choose to paint 10 minis in an hour apiece. Which one's going to be better? I'm probably going to have more fun painting 10 different minis for an hour apiece. Most of the time. Yeah. I mean, as it is, I painted... What was the number? 613 minis last year? And I have enough to do that for the next 7 years. A lot of the minis aren't going to take anywhere near that long. Like, I don't see how I could put an hour into a single Combined Arms Battletech mini. But who knows? Maybe I could. If you don't know how big a Combined Arms Battletech mini is, I'm talking about little infantry and hover tanks and stuff that are the size of Imperialis minis. They're 6mm. Hello, goodbye. Yeah, exactly. Like, where are they? I've been getting more exercise than paint done this stream. I'm okay with that. Alright. So this is a 40k Predator. That's an old school tactical marine. This is an old school Battletech mini. Here's a unit of infantry for Battletech. Oh, yeah, except here's the thing. I'm not leaving my room. Ollie, I'm not leaving my room. You can still see me. Let's see. But yeah. How long to paint that? Or, you know, painting up this little tank. Like, they're not going to take me very long. I just have to actually sit down to paint them. Yeah, yeah. It's like Imperialis. Um, you know, then there's jump troops. And, bigger tanks. And then where's the one that... Oh, this one. All the missiles. So, yeah. Painting these up, it's not going to take me that long. I just need to actually sit down to do it. I'm actually going to sell my Hero Quest box. I don't think I'm ever going to get to it. But I am planning on doing my Warhammer Quest models this year. At some point. You know... Like I said... Yeah, I'm selling off my new version Hero Quest. It's still in the shrink wrap. And I'm not gonna get to it. So occasionally you need to let some stuff go when you have a collection like mine. And I'm not gonna get to that one. But if it means that I have more time to focus on Cursed City, Blackstone Fortress, and Shadows over Hammerhall, you know. Like, I have several armies that I've barely touched. I need to spend the time for that. Oh, if it was the original one, I would not be selling it. That would be staying even if I never touched it. But as far as just having too many things in the collection, that's about 70 minis that I don't need to worry about. I don't have any of the expansions, but they were gone before I had a chance. The game shop didn't have any in stock, and I don't usually order direct from GW. So sorry, I'm mixing up some silver with the black I have on my wet palette. Because I wanted a different shade of metal on the vents. But yeah, the Blackstone Fortress was one of those things where I actually bought it after it had come out and gone away pretty much. So it was a little bit harder to get things as well. I think the music just stopped. Yeah. All right. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I do have an interest in painting up the Blackstone Fortress and Cursed City boxes this year. As soon as I get around to opening them and actually like building the models and stuff. I want to put some extra effort into the characters. Maybe give them that 5 to 10 hour paint job per, or at least 3 hours. I might do one per stream type of thing. But I need to get them out and built and primed. Which is easier to do once I have a few less projects on the table. Because oh yeah. The project I've been working on the last couple of, well, the last week and a half, I did not expect it to take so long, but that's what happens when I decide to jump in on 8 minis at once and want to paint them all the way up for the video. So that has been taking up some of my time, and getting these minis ready for the tournament and that deadline. I think I've actually only painted 5? I have painted 6 minis so far this year. Whereas, you know, last year, day 1, I painted 10. Yeah, I'll see you again on Tuesday. Have a good one, Ollie. Yeah, having only painted 6 so far, I mean, this will make 7. Yay. Quite a bit smaller number. Even if I finish off the other 8, I'm still less than 1 a day. And that feels weird when I was at 1.5, almost 2 last year. But again, better quality, right? At least that's the goal. Slightly better quality. Okay. So, I need to do silver tracks. Ah. Oh well. So, If I remember correctly, I used this paint for that. Badger, 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 badger. Alright. Nice, thick, inexpensive hobby paint. No, not going to use the stippling brush. Oof. Gonna use this one. I'm using a coarse brush because I want the lines to exist. It's not quite dry brushing, kind of a rough overbrushing for this. I think I could probably get... Yeah. That might work. I do not know if this will work. Yeah, not quite. I was trying to make a slightly rustier color, but didn't work. Oh well. Yes. Oh, speaking of, what do people think about the reveals? Hmm. The Emperor's Children got a whole bunch of new stuff. Yeah, I hope the people who have been waiting for that army are thrilled. Yeah, there is a new Fabulous Billy. I thought it was okay. I'm. It wasn't enough cool to decide to buy another army, but I've also been going through a period where I'm like, okay, what do I actually want to work on? What am I willing to put my time into? So, the last couple of videos about, you know, what I built and what I painted and what I have as projects, I'm not actively looking for any new armies right now, so there's a lot of effort going into painting some of my old models, like this. And, you know, I'm gonna want to paint up other models that I've had for a long while. And, you know, then there's also all the Battletech stuff and Marvel Crisis Protocol and all of the new things that I've been getting into. So, I think I have enough GW stuff at the moment. Let's see, what do I want to do for that? Do I want to paint this a different color? Yeah, I think the Emperor's Children have an interesting lineup of new models. I hope the people who want that army are going to be happy with them. I'm still trying to decide if I want any of the other Eldar minis that they've announced. If I want to add to my collection or not. But they haven't announced when, and I'm not sure yet. We'll see when the prices come out, whether or not I want to actually add any of them. Or if I just want to focus on the ones that I already have. Because I still have 90 Eldar to paint up. So, if I already have 90 to paint up, do I need more right now? Maybe work on the things I have, you know? I don't know. That doing that state of the collection video really did put that into perspective for me. And I don't know. I've been feeling that way for a little while now about the new GW models and everything. So I don't know. Like, I'm not against buying more models, but I haven't been buying as many GW ones lately. Most recent thing was the Scourges for my Drukhari army, but that is to finish off a 2,000, or I guess it's a 2,500 point list. And being that I've only built the Mandrake so far, I mean, I should probably work on that, and the Custodes, and the Imperial Knights. You know, I have armies that I still can't field. So, I think that also adds to it, because I do want to put more time into the ones that I have. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But they did kind of hint at a new edition of Heresy, Horus Heresy. And I still haven't even finished that army. So yeah, I think just with what I have and what I've been working on, I think I've been focusing a lot on just finishing things. I don't know. Plus, how many models do you actually need to buy every year, right? All? Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I still haven't even, found the Chorfs. But, again, like, I kind of need to focus on some of the armies that I already have. I still want to do them at some point this year, but the priority hasn't really been there. So, yeah, because they already have the Mark 4 and 6, or no, Mark 3 and 6. Like, would they do 2? Would they do 5? I don't know. They've already done the Deredeo and the Contemptor. I suppose they could do a versus box with a different army. They've been doing the Imperial Guard and AdMech stuff lately, so I don't know. I mean, that could be interesting. But at the same time, I don't think I need to purchase any of it. If I still haven't even finished building and painting my army, my Age of Darkness stuff, does it really... Do I need another box set? I suppose I could try to do a paint new box set in a month thing again, but... I feel that that is what Heresy was supposed to be, but... Oh, you know what they could do? They could do Marine on Custodes. That would sell some boxes. And they could do the Sagittarium and the the jump dudes. Venatari. Venatari. Like, they could do those two. You know, the bolt gun guard, the custodian guard, and the Venatari, and one of the resin kits, the whatchamacallits that they have. They have two different cannon options on top. They could do that with one or both of the turret options. That would probably sell like crazy. I would buy one. That would actually get me to buy one, a box. Because that's actually one of the reasons I haven't been working on my Custodes as much. Is that outside of what I have, half of the army is resin. Half of that force is still resin, and I'm not usually one to purchase models that are resin. Like, I do have a few, like Samael, but that could give a decent box set. That could be interesting. I have no proof that they'd ever do something like that, but you know, if we're just talking about what could they do, that could be pretty cool. I mean, I guess they also still have the alternative tank. Not tank. The Admech Knights. They could do one of those in a box. What are they, like the Moirax or whatever it is? So there are things that they could do that could be interesting. Alright. Do you see anything else that I need to do with this tank before I weather it? Little piece of sponge. Really heavy duty wear and tear on the front area. A little bit of wear and tear on here. Bit of wear and tear on the back. That was more than I wanted. So I'll just mostly cover that. All right. Just a little bit along the edges, maybe a little bit higher up. I don't know, just taking it easy with this. I don't want to overdo the damage. I'm also getting paint on my finger instead of on the sponge. Could be using tweezers instead, but I don't care. What's a little paint, right? Whatever. I need to do a little bit more weathering up top. Let's grab another little piece of foam. Hit that darker metal that I mixed up. Okay. Adds a little bit of wear and tear. Okay. There's a mixing ball in here. I didn't even know that. And now, to save the desk a little bit, I'm going to... Whoa. Good thing that wasn't open. Just drop in the paint. Whoa, that went all over the place. I am being sloppy. Yay. Okay. This is a watered down black paint that I made a long while ago. It's, I don't know, probably 6 or 8 parts water. And it's just for slathering over as a wash. And it just grimes everything up. And then, after this dries, I will take the basing mud that I use, and I will do some splatter around the treads and a little bit on the sides and stuff. And maybe 2 or 3 other colors of paint just here and there. Or Nuln Oil or other things like that in some of the recesses. But this just dulls everything down and makes it look muddy and dirty. Yeah. Would I normally darken something down this much? No. Is this an old tank? Yeah. Am I intentionally letting it water stain? Yes. Here's a little bit of water added to it to drip it. I'm actually letting water pool where it wants to. Could I do this with an enamel wash? Or an oil wash? Possibly. Do I have one of those? No. Congratulations for having good customers today. Yeah, I just slathered it in a black wash and then rinsed a few areas with some water to get the grimy look. Of course, now I have to let it dry for like an hour. Before I can touch it again. Oh. Oh, that's sad. I mean, when you're in that kind of way, why are you even out trying to buy things, right? I'm not gonna argue that point. Or argue against that point, I should say. Alright, so since this is drying, I can't really do anything else to it right now. So who wants to see a really messy time? Who wants me to make a mess? Alright. So I'm gonna start by taking some of the paints off of the table. Because they just get put over here. Alright. One mess coming up soon. Yeah. Alright, I need this to go there. I need the good brushes to go up here. Oh yeah. Because there is another step I need to do for this army. Be ready. Does not require me to have my wet palette. And I don't need this. And these guys are getting taken off the table because I don't want to ruin them. And these guys can go over here. Okay, a little setup, but I kind of expected to do this. I didn't think the tank would take me 3 hours, so... Okay. All right. Yeah. Brown earth. Brown mud. There's not very much of this left. Okay. Really bad paintbrushes. And tough. Alright. So. We're gonna get some messy going on. Alright. I suppose I could start with the Dark Angels? Yeah? We'll start with the Dark Angels. What is this? Oh. Alright, where was it? Okay. We're gonna start with the Brown Mud and the Dark Angels. Because I'm going to be using Blood Angels in the army force that I need. But I'm just gonna call them Stormwing. Or Dreadwing. They work. I'm pretty much running an Angels of Death list, so. Alright. Oh yeah, almost out of this stuff. There should be enough for this project, but I will have to buy more of this color at some point. Alright. I'm not gonna get that on here as well. Just center it on the tray. There we go. Aha. So yeah. The old bike pill base versus the Outrider base. But yeah, that's how long I've had the models. They went, hey, you know, instead of these small bikes, we get bigger bikes now. Instead of Belial, we have Belial on a bigger base. Instead of 25mm jump troops, we have 32mm bases. So As the times change, you rebase things. Or just glue the new base underneath. Yeah, I hope I have enough of this. It takes a lot to do this bigger base up to that rim. Yeah. There's one mudded. Oh, and they actually get a different tuft than these winter ones. These are going to be on the Blood Angels. With the brown earth. Last time I checked, the brown mud, the stuff I'm using right here, was about half again the price of any of the other earth textures that Vallejo has. I don't know if they're just not making it, or if it costs more to, like, make the color. I don't know. But one of the hobby places I went to actually didn't have them anymore. And another one had their selection almost gone, so hopefully they're not discontinuing the stuff without telling me. Because it does dry out over time. And I don't want to have to stock up on a whole bunch of it all at once. But I don't know. I mean, I know I could put it down and then prime it and paint it my own color and use whichever color I want for that process, but you know, I still have some Dark Angels that need this stuff, so I don't want to change the consistency of my basing unless I truly have to for a single army. I'm perfectly fine with the new armies having a different base style. But also, a lot of the stuff I've purchased recently doesn't have the slotted bases, so this isn't as important to do after the fact. But like even my dreadnought here has little dots. Like push fit requires a little different method of putting down texture. At the same time, I'm basing a fairly large area, and on these four minis and then the 2 leaders, and I've gotten over 100 minis done with one of these jars, so it's definitely not prohibitive in pricing. At least not to a very high extent. It's definitely less expensive than doing the GW technicals for basing. Like, these are 200 milliliters. So it's, what, 10 times the technical? And it might be double the price. Maybe. Depending on the color you choose. So... bit of mud on the tires. Because why not? Alright. I use a different paintbrush and a different water cup for this, because this stuff can get really messy. I usually get it all over my hands too. Just one, once I've done so many bases. So... I get over... yeah. Most of the time it's when I get it over the edge, I take my thumb and I actually clean it. That's why it gets all over me. But... Yeah. But yeah, like I do that and then I get the stuff all over me. I could probably use a paper towel or something instead of my finger, but I usually use my finger and then the paper towel. I don't know. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Basing is gonna be done. Yay! Um, and then I used some cork for this mini, so I'm gonna mud up around said hills. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, points tonight all over the place. Um, basing some models and getting a tank painted. Yep. But yeah, it just I don't do this a lot because it gets really messy, but it builds and builds over time, and then you're like, well, I better do that. And then it's like, okay, how many can I get done in a night? So, but since the Force is fully painted now, the only thing I had to do for next Saturday is to have the bases. You know, have them based. So, here we go. I'm basing them. We're gonna get them done. Alright. Yeah, that should work, right? That works for basing, right? Minus a couple of tufts. And then I'll do the black base rim, finish it off. Yeah. Which sadly I can't get that done until it dries, but I have plenty of time before next Saturday for that. I'm not doing that for my 40k Dark Angels. I wouldn't mind doing that if I was doing an old world army though. Honestly, Chorfs might look good on. Yeah. Yeah. They might actually look good on a Goblin Green base. If I planned on doing them in the colors that I was thinking about doing, that actually might look good as a contrast basing. Yeah. I forgot to grab the Swamp Tuft bases, or the Swamp Tufts for this, so these particular minis will get the tufts later. But that's fine. I just don't like getting up while I have all of this stuff on the table. Alright. Come on. Go all over the place. There. Volcanic magma base. What? Why volcanic magma? Look, I prepared paper towels to the side just in case. Okay. And now for the Brown Earth on the Blood Angels. As you can see, it's new. Luckily, I washed that off first, or else that would have been all over my shirt. Wow. If that's not peanut butter color, ugh. Yeah. Ollie called it forbidden peanut butter. Alright. Yeah, I'm sure that this is actually not peanut butter. Yeah. All right. That helps make the model stand out, right? Yeah. See, I knew that I went really dark with these, so I wanted to do a lighter color, and for the Dark Angels, well, I wanted them dark and muddy anyway, so... I originally tried to do coconut husk for the Blood Angels basing, and it just didn't work. I've used it as an accent, but I can't use it just as that and have it work. So I have like 6 Blood Angels on a different style base. Not gonna bother, you know, changing them. But doing the whole army in them wasn't gonna work. And yeah, there is a certain level of benefit to doing the base before you do the painting. It's a better integration, I think. But, you know, once you have them done and painted and you're not sure how you want to base them, you just go, okay, well, I guess I'm going to do texture paste. So, here we are, doing texture paste. Oh, that just went into the paint. Of all the places on this palette to land, it landed in the metallic paint that I used for dry brushing. That's a little annoying. Probably like 20 cents worth of paste that I'm not going to be able to use. Maybe I'll get half of it out of there, but... oh well. Okay. Oh. And now I got some on my desk. I wasn't kidding about how this was going to be a mess. The paintbrush just jabbed into the desk. If you were ever wondering why I don't usually base while streaming, this is why. But you know, the tank's just over there drying and having a good time. Laughing that it doesn't need basing. Okay. So yeah, Moth, at some point you're gonna have to start basing your models. The answer definitely is about texture. The better the base, or the more textures, the better. To a certain extent. But based on what I've seen, haha, based. From examples I've seen, 2 to 3 different textures and colors is usually the winning game here. Like doing a texture paste and a tuft or two is bare minimum. But if you can get, you know, a stone here or there, or, you know, something else as well, add that third option, you know, object, it breaks it up a little bit more and makes it look better. Something I'm also still working on and towards. So like I'm trying to finish off my Blood Angels and Dark Angels armies, make them playable and have what I have. Um, I'm trying to do my Salamanders army in a higher, a higher quality paint scheme, and the basing's gonna have more to it. Um, just trying to up my level, up the game. You know, each army I do. What was it again? Onwards, upwards? Yeah. But this is an old army, and I had to rebase it to begin with, so just getting it done is going to be a success for me. I don't actually expect my Blood Angels to be playable in 11th. And half of my Dark Angels aren't going to be playable either. So... But they will get played next Saturday, so... Alright, 2 more after this, and then I'm gonna do some tufts. I'm thinking each one's gonna get 2. But I might do where 1 or 2 of them get 1, and a couple of them get 3. Yeah. Variety. Right? And I also have 3 different sizes, so... so I can change that up a little bit. Not that a 32mm base has very much space for a ton of tufts, but I mean, I guess it's not that bad of a amount of space. It's weird painting with texture paste. When you're used to thinning your paints constantly, and it's like, no, 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 slather it. Cover it. Just globs here and there, and glob, and more globs, and yeah. Thick. Okay. Now I'm gonna take this, and I'm not even gonna clean my fingers. I'm gonna pick up the tank, because I don't think I have enough on here to get all over the place, but now I'm gonna actually put some mud on the front of this. Oh yeah, mudding up the tracks. Not actually doing on the tracks as much as everywhere else. If anyone picks it up, it's muddy. And that just got on my shirt. Come on. I don't need mud texture on my shirt. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. There. Alright, Tufts. Who's ready for Tuft? I'm ready for Tufts. Alright. I also find this texture paste usually works fine as a glue. If you get it, if you get the tufts in there before it dries, it usually sticks there. All right. And worst case scenario, you go back, you use super glue if the tufts fall off. I have yet to have to do that, so... Of course, these tufts don't seem to be as high quality. I got distracted. So nearly done and getting distracted. See, this is the problem. That one doesn't look like it's sticking very well. So, we'll see. Okay. That is those ones. Oh. The Dark Angels are using Wasteland, not Swamp. There we go. like that the Wasteland ones start with a dark color on the bottom and work up to a brighter green. I like that color option. And yeah, just tufting up the bikes now. I'm probably going to use the rest of this on these 4 minis. Go in. It's okay. Stick properly. Not upside down, not on my finger. Stick where I want you to stick. Alright. Come on. There. No more Wasteland Tufts on that one. But yeah. So yeah, once everything dries, I just have to do the black base rim. But that is 10 jump troops, a librarian terminator, a terminator captain, Belial, 3 outriders, a dread, and a tank. Completed for the day. That's not a bad 3 hours, huh? Ugh. We started on a tank tonight, and we ended up on all of this. That's not bad, huh? Ugh. It feels good to have them ready to go. I will need to glue Samael to a base, but I think he goes on a flying stand. And, yeah. Yeah, almost over. You like getting here right at the end, huh? How's it been? Yeah, I have a tank with muddy tracks right over here. That's what it looks like from above. But then there's a whole bunch of mud underneath. And all of this is based now. Oh, and I also haven't magnetized the bases. Not a requirement, but I like having that. So... Anyway... I hope everyone had a good night. And, until next time. I hope you find your bit of bliss. Good night, everyone.